Hello and welcome back to another video from Mini Motley Sanctuary. I'm Anna.
And I'm Ruth.
And together we are a mother-daughter team running our little animal sanctuary and haven for rescue animals out in the English countryside.
And it's shearing time. Shearing is a welfare issue for the sheep.
I know that lots of people wonder why sheep have to be sheared, and it's a case of if we were to leave them, they would overheat in those red hot fleeces. Now that the spring temperatures are coming into play, we've got to get rid of those long and thick and warm wintry fleeces.
Also to be mindful of the fact that these are rescue sheep, so there are lots of different breeds that can't find a forever home with us, some of whom are equipped with fleeces for much more extreme climates. So the Herdwicks are mountain sheep that are used to much colder temperatures. So they're particularly vulnerable to overheating with some of their inappropriate fleeces for our warmer southern climates.
And another reason for the fleeces to come off the sheep in spring, ready for summer, is because of the risk of fly strike, which is where the flies will nestle into the long, thick and warm and wet fleeces, lay their eggs, and then they hatch, and the maggots will then eat into the flesh of the sheep, which can kill them. And is very unpleasant and painful, so we have to prevent that from happening. We have to get rid of those fleeces so they're lovely, cool and fresh for the summer months, and there's no risks of flies nesting inside them.
The first thing we have to do is bring all the sheep in, and we like to do this in a really peaceful and stress-free way. And it's worked beautifully, I have to say. We don't have a dog. We don't chase our sheep in. We open the gate. I usually stand just inside the gate with a scoop of food that they really, really love. And then I just let them wander in from the field. And sheep being sheep, they usually follow, so the bravest of all of them will come first.
Well, they follow you because they love you. They love the fact that you pamper them and stroke them, massage them and give them lots of their favourite herby treats.
We have gradually bonded with them and built up their confidence in us, so they don't see us as threatening. But nonetheless, sheep are always a little bit nervous of any change of environment, really, as most animals are. So we open the gates and let them stroll in at their leisure. So usually the most confident will come through first, followed very quickly by the others. And then they're in an enclosed paddock, quite a roomy one. And we, again, let them have a good sniff and wander around and have a little play with anything that's in the paddock.
They have some feed and we give them a check over to make sure they're all healthy and fit and in good condition.
Yeah, so that's again done in a very relaxed way. And then we've left the stable door. We prepare the stable with really deep, lovely bedding and lots of piles of hay and obviously a big bucket of water. We leave the door to the stable open, and inevitably their curiosity gets the better of them. So they'll start wandering into the stable. When they're all in the stable, we then shut the stable door, and we then lean over the stable door. We carry on talking to them. We keep checking on them. And they actually are completely relaxed about it. They then start eating their hay, and it's all very peacefully done without any stress at all.
And they like a bit of a change of scenery, like we all do. It
Yeah.
probably feels like they're going for a night in an Airbnb.
That's it, they sleep over in the stable.
With their thick, lovely, cosy bed, the roof over their heads. And it's important that they come into the stable block because we have to protect them from any rain that might come overnight, because as soon as it rains, shearing is cancelled, because you cannot shear a wet sheep or a wet fleece. It's just not possible. So it's of real importance that they come in out of any potential rain clouds.
That's it. And they've still got the top part of the stable door open, so they can see the sky and they can hear the familiar sounds and
they have
smells.
lovely breeze come in.
Exactly. So it is all made as comfortable as is possible for them.
And then our lovely friend and shepherd and expert in all things sheep, Andy, comes along to shear them, and he's got a very impressive shearing contraption that hangs up from the stable roof with the electric supply, and then he very gently shears each sheep, taking his time. There's no rush, and every sheep is done individually to their needs and their requirements. We have some more wiggly sheep, we have some more nervous sheep, some are more friendly, and Andy just gently makes his way through each little flock mate.
And also Andy knows our sheep and our sheep know him. So luckily it's not a complete stranger coming in. Sheep do know faces, recognise faces. The estimate, I think, is they recognise 40 faces, but who knows, it could be more. But certainly they react very differently to complete strangers. So they're very familiar, very comfortable around him. And Andy's got an interest in the sheep and comes to visit the sanctuary at other times and has helped us care for them. So it's lovely that they've got that continuity of relationship with him.
And Andy spent a lifetime loving animals, working in the great outdoors. He's previously worked for the National Trust. He's a great sheep lover and he has his own. So he is really the best man for the job. And it's so important for us to find the right teammates around us, those professionals that come in that we rely upon, like farriers, like vets and sheep shearers. We make sure they align with our values. We make sure they're kind and good people. And he really loves his sheep and adores them. And he also knows all their names and their individual characters and personalities. And he remembers each one and appreciates them for the little people that they are. So it was really important to us that when we moved to Suffolk, we find the people that come into the sanctuary and add to our team and help us.
Look, he looks quite happy there, being cuddled, doesn't he?
Yeah. Andy looks happy. Happy. It's funny.
Wow. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, get a shot of that.
Yeah. Look at that.
I'll tell you about the wool.
No.
So this is a wool staple from Jim. This is the end that was next to him, and that's the bit that's outside. You can see how the lanolin works and moves down the wool and always keeps the skin clean and pushes the dirt to the end.
Oh, that's so clever.
If you can zoom in close, you'll see the crimp in this bit. We see the waves in that?
Yeah.
That's the crimp. Wool has two things. It's got crimp and it's got luster. And that's what the spinners and the weavers are looking for. And if you can twiddle that and make it really long, sometimes you can hear it snap. So all the wool people will go out, they'll pick a staple, they'll look for luster, they'll look for crimp, they'll give it a bit of a twist and elongate it, and then they'll hear for the little spring in it. And that's a nice fleece.
Lovely, thank you.
Must be 2 kilos worth there.
Wow.
And the other good thing is, of course, Andy has something to compare in terms of how they're doing physically. He sees them more than annually, so he'll say, oh, you know, this one's put on a little bit of weight, or this one, you know, the feet are in much better condition than they were. And he's got a reference point, a baseline, which also really helps us and reassures us that we're giving good care and the health of the sheep is going in the right direction.
And you'll notice that, you know, it's very different to the commercial flocks who, you know, they're put in pens and it's a very quick system because the shearer wants to get through flocks of hundreds of sheep very quickly in the commercial setting. You'll notice with us it's very, very different. We take as much time as is needed for each individual sheep. There's no rush, there's no frenzy. It's not a case of being against the clock, and Andy will just very carefully, very gently ease that fleece off, and he will also take breaks as well to give the sheep breaks, and you'll see him, he'll sort of stroke them and he'll pet them and he'll talk away to them as well.
And then we also give treats to sort of distract the ones that are not being shorn. We'll give them little treats to keep them occupied while they're waiting their turn. Then when they have been shorn, we give a treat as a reward as well. And like all animals, the sheep respond to that. They like that. It's very reassuring. It's like, well done, you've done that, that's done. And or like have a little treat before and keep your chin up because it's all going to be fine. And we like all these sort of psychological approaches as well to their welfare, just as you would with children if they were going for something they felt a bit nervous about, like their first haircut even. Little rewards, little reassurances along the way make a huge difference.
And isn't it interesting, you talking about children having haircuts and the fact they're given sweets or stickers to encourage them, people taking their dogs to the dog parlour for their haircut and their trim-ups. Dogs will get treats and they'll get pats.
Yeah.
And isn't it interesting that isn't usually thought about for sheep? It is at our sanctuary.
Yeah, it is at the sanctuary, definitely. And they all had a back massage afterwards because they feel a bit weird when they've first been shorn.
They do.
They feel probably a bit naked. They can be a bit startled by each other. Like, who is this person? Who is this sheep opposite me?
Do I recognise you? Do I know you?
Yeah, I don't know you anymore. You look completely different.
Do you come here often?
So as they're adjusting to their new locks or lack of, we like to make a big fuss of them. So they get back massages. They get, again, time out in the pen to chill with each other and recognise each other.
Bond again.
Bond again.
And get used to the feeling. And of course they love that feeling because they're shedding off these, often dirty fleeces because they've been with them through the winter.
Yeah.
So they've been in the mud, they've been in the rain, they've been marching across the fields, they've been rooting in the bushes, they've picked up all sorts of bracken along the way. So they are ridding themselves of these itchy old fleeces.
I mean, Bertie was half a hedgerow,
He was a big floppy rug.
Yeah, he really was. And actually, Andy says that his fleece, he thinks, weighed about 4 kilograms, Bertie's alone. So that was a lot of luggage to be carrying around, wasn't it?
You can imagine the heavy weight on their backs and on their limbs when they're
Exactly.
carrying these fleeces around.
Yeah. And again, I suppose commercially, being a grey-faced Dartmoor sheep, he's bred for his fleece. So it gets a bit unmanageable if left. In fact, it gets very unmanageable if just left on the poor sheep. So he's really feeling fab after getting rid of that.
It's like a rug, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
Lovely.
Wow.
Yeah, you're next, mate.
And the fleeces have another life again once they're removed from our sheep, because we get them processed, I clean them as well, and then I use them, as many of you might know, to make little creations, often little sheep, to sell in our Etsy shop to help with the care of the animals at the sanctuary. So it's a kind of lovely full circle thing that happens, and fleeces nowadays are not worth much at all. And again, we wouldn't want those to end up in some kind of landfill situation. So we are very fortunate and very satisfied by the fact that we can use them again. So our sheep donate their fleeces, get rid of them when they don't want them to make them more comfortable. And then the fleeces go towards me creating lots of little animals that our followers and our fans of our shop can go to, buy, and know that the money's going back into looking after the very sheep that they've come from. We're quite pleased with that. That's a nice recycling full circle moment.
Recycling is so important to us at the sanctuary, and to make sure that nothing goes to waste. And these fleeces have to come off the sheep. So instead of them being thrown away, as Mum says, ending up in landfill or in bins somewhere to be collected, it gets to be used again. And it's removed in a cruelty-free way, in a very relaxed and very gentle manner. So for anyone who felt a little bit uneasy about that process, hopefully we can reassure you by showing you how our shearing days are done at the sanctuary, and what also the fleeces look like coming off of the sheep before they are then prepared for the shop. Last year we rescued some malnourished, mistreated, skeletal Herdwicks and a Herdwick cross. And for those of you who have joined us on Patreon, and if you want to join us for as little as £1 a month, please do come along, and you'll be able to watch their rehabilitation journey on Patreon. You'll see when they arrived, you'll see what it took to get them back to full health and fitness. They were in such a terrible state when they arrived at the sanctuary, and you'll notice the difference if you've seen those videos, because now the Herdwicks are looking happy and healthy, and such different animals now that are being sheared this year compared to when they first arrived with us and the fleeces came off and we saw how thin, and the bones in their neck pushing through their skin, and their spines were prominent, and it was so sad and so terrible. But what a feeling of relief, and also how rewarding to now see them as stocky grown-up animals that have grown in height and grown in confidence and put on some weight and are feeling fab. So it's been so amazing to watch their journey over the past year, and we hope that if you haven't joined us on Patreon, you might want to come and have a watch and come and have a look and support us. And you can do that for as little as £1 a month, and we'll pop the link in the description below.
And they really have grown in confidence, as Anna says. They were so shy and depressed and not wanting any interaction with us, very quiet,
nervous,
and now they are full of life and vitality. They're very interactive with us, and that, as well as their physical improvement, has been really gratifying.
They're really closely bonded to us. They love popping up their heads at the fences. They love taking treats from Mum's hand. They love pestering me in the field and following me everywhere and trying to help with the poo picking and getting involved and trying to dig into the bags and trying to knock over the wheelbarrow. And it's amazing to see their personalities and their characters flourish and actually come through. Because when these animals arrive with us, they are often so terrified and scared and nervous, and because of their mistreatment with other humans, that you don't get to know them for quite some time. Andy, what were the Herdwicks like when they came a year ago? You were the first to see them other than us.
Yeah, the two Herdwicks and the Herdwick cross were very, very thin. Very, very poor. They didn't shear very well at all. Yeah, they were literally skin and bones. But in the year, the Suffolk one has come on leaps and bounds. We're just being that hybrid is how you want your sheep to be. And the other two for Herdwicks, exactly where you'd like them to be. They're good, solid animals. They've got some height about them. They've got some length about them. You know, in Suffolk, we're struggling for grass growth over the winter. So once the grass starts growing, they'll come on, and by this time next year, they'll be quite big chaps, I should think.
You adore your sheep, Andy, don't you? You're very gentle at shearing time. Is that something that you're really conscious about at
No,
shearing?
it's just the fact that I'm 60 next year and I'm knackered. And a lot of the sheep are younger than me and fitter than me, so I tend to do them how they want to be done. Especially big ones like Jim, because he must be a couple of kilos more than me. It's a bit like me going in against one of the gladiators, I think. But hopefully I've done you proud and Jim looks okay.
He looks great. He looks brilliant. And once shearing is finished, wow, what a transformation. It's lovely to see them come out and explore the pen, but also for us to give them a scratch, tell them well done, and see their little faces, which are so sweet to then been unearthed from their big long winter fleeces, and to look at each one as new little characters, because actually you can even see Albie's changed colour. He had a golden fleece on the outside, and when it's been shorn off, you can now see he's a beautiful silver colour underneath. So it's lovely to take time to appreciate each sheep for its new colours and their faces reappearing, and to spend time with them in the sunshine. It's a real reward after a long and treacherous winter. If you'd like to support our shop and see the fleece in its full circle moment, do pop along to our Etsy shop. We do also send to America and Canada. We get quite a few questions asking if we do, so please be assured that your parcels will reach you. We have lots of different handmade gifts and decorations, badgers and rabbits, sheep, and lots more. We gift wrap for no extra charge so that it's ready for you to gift to loved ones and friends, with artisan and recycled yarns for you to keep and use again if you'd like to. Please pop on over. We'll put all the links in the description below, including our Just Giving and also our Patreon link as well. We would love it if you want to come on over. You can join us for as little as £1 a month to support our animal sanctuary and all of our rescue animals, and you can join an amazing group of animal lovers and a real community that we are so thankful and grateful for. So a huge shout out to all of our incredible patrons. We could not do this without you. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. It really helps our little YouTube channel to grow. Please click the thumbs up button because it helps YouTube to show our videos to other animal lovers like us, and please share and spread the word. We would really appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon for another video.
Thank you.